Good morning, this is Angela with Parkrose Permaculture. Today I wanted to share with you one of my favorite plants for any prairie garden, cottage garden, rain garden, permaculture garden. This is a great insectiary plant. Butterflies, bees of all kinds love it, and it grows in zones 7 through 10, where it is hardy. In zones 5 and 6, you may need to cover this in the winter for it to be hardy for you. But it's a fantastic plant, one of my favorite long blooming insectiary plants. So let's go in and have a look. This is my rain garden here, and I grow this plant in the rain garden. So it's July and I've just cut back a bunch of things. Usually this time of year, there are plants that benefit from being cut back. They've finished blooming, and if you cut them back hard, they will bloom again. So this, my iris are done here. My perennial phacelia is done here. My mints I've just cut back. And now we're getting ready to see the second wave of blooms of things that are going to bloom from now all the way through October and provide that constant supply of bee food and butterfly food in the rain garden. So let's go in and look at this plant. I'm a huge fan of it. Took me a long time to find one. So I'm a big fan of John Lord, who's a gardener in Ireland, and he had recommended this plant, and I searched and searched for years and finally found it. So here we go. Oh, we have a little weed right here. Let's pull that out. This is Frikart's Aster. The other name for it is Aster Mönch. It is a member of the Asteraceae, so it is related to chrysanthemums and yarrow and sunflowers, any of the asters. So it has the typical daisy-like flower, open, really easy for bees and butterflies to access. So this really open face flower with the pollen and nectar readily available is something that bees really enjoy, particularly honeybees really like that open face. So the reason I prefer this aster to other asters is that it is hardy in my zone. It does not require staking. It doesn't get floppy. It grows to about 2.5 feet by 3.5 feet. And it provides this tremendous cascade and succession of blooms from July all the way in through October. So you're giving your bees and your butterflies food for a long spread of time. It just goes and goes and goes and goes. So some things about growing Frikart's Aster. By the way, it is a hybrid aster. Frikart is a hybrid between Aster thomsonii and Aster, I'm going to forget the other one, Melis maybe. And therefore, it's not going to give you seeds. It's going to need to be purchased in a garden nursery or propagated by cuttings. So some things about growing this aster. It needs full sun. So this is why I grow it here in the rain garden. And you can see this is the edge of the rain garden. It's hard to see because everything is very overgrown, but I have a gravel channel here. And we're looking at the back edge of it. So this is where the water comes out. The overflow comes out here, right here, and overflows. And this is up on a mound here. So it has periods where it doesn't get very much rain and then periods where it gets a lot of rain. And so it can handle that variation in water. Here you can see the whole plant. Okay, so full sun can tolerate periods of drought and periods of heavy moisture. It likes a sandier soil, but this is pretty heavy clay soil and it's doing very well. I think that this is a plant that any prairie garden, any border garden, any cottage garden would benefit from. And it also is a great plant for any permaculture garden because it will work well in any guild where you are looking for more of those insectiary plants, particularly ones that produce late in the season and give that bee food all the way until first frost. This plant is herbaceous and it does die back to the ground in winter. It starts coming up pretty early, but again, it's not going to start blooming until the beginning of July. Very easy, hardy plant. Again, up through zone 7. If you are in zone 5 or 6, you will need to cover this in the winter. Or you can dig it up and put it in a pot, grow it in a pot. Just a great border plant. So again, that's Frikart's Aster, also called Aster Mönch. Very beautiful, easy, carefree, perennial border plant. Good for cut flowers and a great insectiary plant for bees and butterflies. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure and like it and subscribe to my channel to find out more about cottage garden and permaculture gardening, food forests, growing your own food. I'll be back soon. Thanks.